When you need energy for those unexpected power outages or for recreational use when you're out on the field, the Aferiy AFP210 power station will supply plenty of power for your needs. Stay tuned, I'm going to do a review on this power station. Aferiy sent me this unit to do a product review. Let's take a look at some of the notable features that this power station has. Number one, it comes with a 24-month warranty. Now that warranty can be extended if you register the product. That is an excellent warranty. You'll want to make sure that you keep the receipts and any paperwork that you have on it though, so that you'll be ready in case you should need any warranty work done on it. The company also provides lifetime technical support for this unit. And I want to talk just a minute about what comes in the box. Now this has a lid on top of it that you can put some storage into, and I keep the power cord in that reservoir. The other thing that comes in the box is a carrying case which has a solar connector cable, and this solar connector cable is a very heavy duty cable. This is an XT90 cable, and it will connect to any standard solar panel. So this is really nice that they supplied that, and they also supplied that AC power cord, so those both can fit into this little pouch. And the other thing that it has is a very handy carrying case so you can keep dust out of these inputs. It also comes with an owner's manual, and I would suggest you read through the owner's manual before using this unit so you know exactly how to use it. This unit is well designed and engineered. It's very well built too. I like the way that it's put together. Everything is laid out in a very simple way that makes good sense for figuring out exactly how to use it. The handles are on the top on the left and right side, and they're built into the cabinet. This gives you really good, firm handhold to it when you're transporting the product. The buttons on the front are also laid out really nice. I love the large on-off button. It's really easy to see. And everything is placed in a way that you would expect it to be, and very well labeled so you know exactly what each button does. There are 6 AC outlets on the right side, and these are once again very well placed, and there's an AC button that turns it on or off and allows power to go from the battery to AC. That turns on the inverter. All of the AC outlets are under a door which simply lifts up and allows you access to them. The size and weight of this unit is very comparable to others of the same capacity rating. It weighs about 48 pounds. It's 15.6 inches wide, 12.4 inches tall, and 11 inches deep. So it's a very good size for packing and transporting it in your car. The AFP210 will supply 2,400 watts of electricity, and this can be either AC or DC. That's the total amount that it will supply. That's an amazing amount of power for its size. The LiFePO4 battery is the best design for this type of a unit. It has a great reputation for being able to hold up and withstand all kinds of uses. One of the things that I like about this type of battery is, number one, it maintains its charge rate over a long period of time. So if you have this unit shut off and you have it all charged up and then you have a power outage, when you turn it on, it'll most likely be up to full power rating. This type of battery allows you 3,500 charges, and by the time it gets to that many charges, it will supply 85% of the rating for this battery. Now the battery built in here is 2,048 watts. It'll supply 2,048 watts of total power. This battery has a reputation of being very safe and very reliable. It's used in a lot of different applications, such as electrical vehicles and home-powered systems. It's also used by many off-grid people to supply nice, good, safe power. The battery is expected to last around 10 years. This unit comes with an LED emergency light, which I like to see on these units. A lot of the units today aren't coming with these anymore, so it's nice to see that they supplied a nice LED light on the front so that when you're out of power, you need some source of light in order to get things running again. As I mentioned, the battery has a supply of 2,048 watt hours. That means in general, you could supply a 100 watt item for around 20 hours, but the actual application will be slightly less than this because the unit itself draws some of this power. It has to have power in order to operate the display and operate the different management systems that are built into the unit. So if you get around 85% of that total battery usage, you're doing pretty good. So if you want to know how long this will operate an item that you have plugged into it, first off, it tells you on the display how much power you have left in terms of hours and minutes. But you can do some math and figure this out yourself. First, I would take 2,048 and multiply that by 0.85. That would be your 85%. That gives you 1,740 watts that you can depend on this supplying. So if you want to know how long an item will run, let's say you have a 45 watt computer plugged into this, and if you want to know how long will this run it if I'm out on vacation, you simply divide 1,740 by 45 watts. And that gives you around 38 hours of supply time. So that computer will run about 38 hours plugged into this if that's your only load. This unit uses a pure sine wave inverter for AC. That means it's converting the DC voltage that's stored in the batteries to alternating current that you can then plug devices into the AC outlets on the side. This is the same kind of voltage that your utility company supplies to your home. So it's very safe to plug anything into this unit. You're not going to harm it by using it on AC. If you're only using DC to power items, then I would shut the AC off on it. Make sure it's not supplying any AC, because that way that inverter is shut off and that will save the battery some. The battery then should run to a capacity of around 90% to supply power for just DC items. There are 4 different ways to charge this unit. You can charge it with, of course, the AC cord. You can charge it with solar using that XT90 cord. You can charge it with AC and solar going into it together. That can supply as much as 1,600 watts at one time. And the AC cord will supply 1,100 watts while it's charging. So when you have this plugged into the wall outlet, this will charge up in just about 3 hours or less. A charging cord for your vehicle does not come with this, so you'd have to purchase that separately. It only will charge from 90 to about 120 watts from your car, so this will take about 17 hours to charge that way. But if you're on a trip and you're doing a lot of traveling, just leave it plugged in and let it charge while you're driving, and that way you'll keep it up and ready to run for you. There are 16 power outlets altogether on this unit. That is amazing. There are 6 for the AC, and they're rated at 15 amps each. There's a DC 12-volt cigarette lighter, like a lot of cars have. This will supply 10 amps or 120 watts of DC 12-volt power. Basically, anything that you can plug into a standard car cigarette lighter outlet will work on this as well. Along with the cigarette outlet for 12 volts, there are also 2 5521 DC outlets, so you can plug in 12 volts DC directly to those. There are 2 USB-A standard port outputs, and those supply 18 watts each. There are 3 USB-C outlets for regular supply. Those supply 20 watts each. And then there's 1 USB-C outlet that will supply 100 watts if you have something that requires more power. This also has a 12-volt XD60 output like a lot of portable solar panels use, and this will supply an output power of 25 amps at 12 volts. That outlet is right here on the front. So the 12-volt outlets are all on one side. The USB outlets are all on the bottom here. The AC is over to one side. They're nice and separated and easy to get to. And each one has a shutoff switch so that you can turn them off when they're not in use. In addition to running things when the unit is charged up, you can also have the unit charging either solar or from your 120 volt line voltage and use it at the same time. They call this pass-through charging. So the unit's charging up, but you're also using the battery in order to run items from it. This unit will power so many different devices. Basically, I think it will power almost everything in your house, maybe except a large AC air conditioning unit. But anything that runs on 120 volts, like our washer and dryer, they use 120 volts. The dryer is gas. That will run off of this unit, and so will our washer. Once again, it's really good for emergency use. The Aferiy AFP210 is also really good for shoots, like video shoots. If you need to charge your video cameras, your drones, anything that recharges, rechargeable batteries, you can plug into this unit. If you're doing some work out on the field, this is a great one-size-fits-all power station. It will also supply plenty of power for your refrigerators or your freezers. You need to do a test on it and see how long it will run those items. More than likely, it'll run a refrigerator for about a day and a half, maybe even longer, depending on what time of year it is and how warm your room is that you have your refrigerator in. If you have a newer refrigerator, that will run longer because simply they're more efficient. It, of course, will even run portable heaters, so 2,400 watts gives you a lot of latitude. Another function that I really like about this system is it has a UPS function. And what that means is that you can put this unit in between an item that you need in case you lose power. Now, our sump pump is a very important device that we have hooked up that keeps water from going into our basement. And so if we're gone overnight and there's storms predicted, I can plug that unit into the AC outlets on the side, turn this unit on, plug it in to 120 volts, and the sump pump will use the supply from the 120 volt line voltage until we lose power. So if we lose power during that time, this will switch over in 10 milliseconds. That's really fast. And then you're powering that sump pump with this device, which will run the sump pump for about 3 or 4 days. The sump pump only uses about 340 watts, and it's not on that much. It comes on about every 20 minutes if we get a lot of water running into that reservoir. So that UPS function is very important if you have devices in your home that are important for you to keep running should you have an unexpected power outage. You have to make sure that whatever item you have plugged in for UPS functioning doesn't exceed 1,100 watts. That's the maximum power draw that you can have hooked up to it and use that system. If you're looking for a medium-sized, well-designed unit, the Aferiy AFP210 power station is a great source. I love the way that the thing is put together and the way it's designed, and I would highly recommend it. It works really well. If you're interested in checking them out, we'll leave a link to Aferiy in our description of our video. And if you use the code MEDIUM07, then you'll get a 7% discount on all of their power stations. And this is good through September the 30th. We'll see you for our next product review next month.